everyone. Welcome to another episode of a gaming podcast, episode 81. We took a little early Easter time off. It was because I wasn't here, but I was like, if I'm not here, there's no show. That's too bad.
Dictator Marcel over here. No,
I have the keys and I have no doubles of them.
Yeah, I'm calling you a dictator, and yet you were doing good things by going to St. Jude Hospital. Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you go hang out with some kids? How dare you? Sick kids and everything. Oh,
what do they do for society anyway? No.
Terrible.
How was the trip?
It was good. It was a good time. We saw some good people and some Twitch staff and some Twitch CEOs as well. I mean, obviously, I'm there to see my good friends Mary Kish, John, the Kawaii guy, and I guess Ray's a good friend as well. I don't know.
Sure.
Depends on the day.
What I loved about the group picture that was taken of everybody that was there, I knew I was in a good community when about half of the people that were there I recognized, and I was like, oh, they're friends, and it was like, oh, we all are really good people, and I like that. So yeah,
it's one of my favorite events that I've been going to since 2019. Of course, there were some years we skipped due to COVID and everything, but it's the one time where everyone's on the same schedule.
Yeah,
you don't have to we're all there together and we're all on the same schedule, and then you get to know people and you grow this stronger bond with everyone, and you're like, man, I know you're like this really popular streamer, but I feel like we can hang out anytime we want. They're like, yeah, let's hang out anytime, man. So it's really neat. It's really cool and a good way for people to link up and everything. But
I had that happen to me when I was at the Star Wars Jedi Survivor preview event. Like, there was a lot of people there that I was like, you are top end streamers. Yeah. And then they were like, no, come hang out with us. It was like all throughout Disneyland. I was just like, oh, came out with Bree Bud, just randomly. Just I was like, come hang out with us. What?
Oh, okay, yeah, me, sure, you mean them or me? Yeah, exactly. It's really neat. It's people are like, yeah, let's take a photo, man, and then they follow up and hang out with your stream. It's really neat. It's a good reset as well. So
love that.
But how was your week?
It was good, just kind of trying to build I've been working on a project that I'll get to talk about soon within the next couple of weeks. It was basically something for PAX that I'm looking forward to talking about in a little bit. But
PAX is soon.
I know it's like 3 weeks now. I think
3 weeks. Wait, that's crazy. At least it's gonna be warm. Hopefully,
we'll see.
Normally, you're dealing with PAX Plague or you're dealing with the cold outside. So
yeah. So I'm just happy that it's gonna be a little bit warm, and hopefully it's not gonna rain like it has done in previous years. But
or snow,
or snow. Yeah, who knows with Boston? It's similar to Toronto at that point. But and then this past weekend got to enjoy WrestleMania with my family. That was fun. I go full out. And I had 2 outfits prepared. I basically have all my WWE gear and
it's night 1 and night 2.
Exactly. You gotta have 100%. So I of course wore my John Cena shirt on the Sunday night, and then I wore my WrestleMania button up that has a bunch of logos of WrestleMania on it on the first night. So awesome. It was good. Did you get a chance to watch it, or were you still away at that point?
I came back on, what day was it? Friday. I came back on Friday.
Oh, okay.
So,
perfect timing then.
I was all locked in. I told people I'm not going anywhere. It's like I'm watching wrestling. That's it. And not only wrestling, it's also, as you can see, playoff hocky as well.
That's
so
I
had a double whammy on Sunday. I was like, oh my God, I'm shouting at the match and I'm yelling at the Leafs, and it was just pure yelling. It's crazy today.
They're right now, as of this recording, 1-0 in the playoffs.
1-0 as of right now. As of tonight, this recording, it's game 2 against Ottawa. Battle of Ontario.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Hey, wait, they're gonna do good. This is the year.
Everybody says that this is the year. They've been saying that this is the year since 1967. Come on.
Listen, this is the first time for a long time that Detroit and Boston haven't been to playoffs.
That's also true. And aren't they isn't the Leafs first in the league? Isn't Leafs first in the division? They finished in their division. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good sign.
Sports picked them to win the cup.
They did. Yes, I did.
And the court picked them to win the series. Has this dog where they throw a ball at it and he hits the ball and it goes in the basket. He picked them to win the series. So
I mean, here's the thing. It's like so because I had the same feelings with the Buffalo Bills when they were in the playoffs because they were first in their division. And then they got up to basically Kansas City.
Oh, we all know what happened to them, though.
Exactly. But so who is that for the Leafs? Is it basically because Boston's out? That's kind of really it. Like
I would say Florida.
Florida would be theirs. Okay.
And if they get through Tampa, though.
Oh, right.
So it's kind of funny. It's Battle of Ontario, then it's a Battle of Florida. It's Tampa versus Florida.
Sure.
That's weird to say. And then it's Toronto versus Ottawa. And then we hate each other. Like we're already starting beef and everything.
I saw the fights that broke it out. So wait, it's Tampa Bay that's won the more Stanley Cups than Florida, right?
Yes. Okay. Florida won for the first time last year. They beat Edmonton.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's what it was. Okay, I was like, I couldn't remember. Yeah, I knew it was a Florida team.
And they went like back to back. They lost the first year, and then they won last year.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
So all right. Well, they don't need a win again. They can just go away.
True. I mean, hey, I think that this I know everyone says like, yeah, this is the year, but so far, like the Leafs have a pretty decent shot. They have the best.
I would
say
shot
they had in years.
They have a different attitude because the coach is different. The coach is like bull school. Like this is how we do it and everything. Okay. And I'll also say Ottawa. They have a guy named I think it's Brady Tkachuk. His brother's on Florida. So if the Leafs beat Ottawa, then we're going to face another Tkachuk brother. Take them all down. Knock them all down. Anyway.
Oh, boy. Well, good luck to the Leafs then, I guess. We'll see.
But today is a special day.
Yeah.
Because Xbox, who for some reason don't really like, you don't need an Xbox anymore. You have your PCs, you have your fridges, you have your TVs, you even have your toaster, you have everything. Everything's an Xbox. Even my cat litter box, Xbox.
It's an Xbox,
It's an Xbox now. I've decided that the year that they we're not selling consoles, are just coming out with everything.
Yes.
And I'm like, did you not think maybe we should just give our console one more try? It seems weird and just put all the games out.
It seems weird that they push their console so hard, like in 2020, and yet they didn't really have any games with no games. And then now when they have games, they're like, you don't need this console. Just buy the games. I mean, I don't know. I get it. Like it's if you're not making them enough money off of it, like when you're first selling it, like it's been about 4 years, and if it's not turning a profit. Then I could see them basically like, okay, you know what? Then why waste the marketing dollars on selling it? We'll just put it out on everything. And
but there was no games ready. I mean, sadly, there was the pandemic. There was this is. I feel like this is like when the system should have came out.
That's 4 years. Like that 4 years is a long time in business terms.
It is
to be able to try to build it to be able to get their both things aligned. Like it's very hard. Like PlayStation was lucky enough that they had a bunch of stuff that were almost pretty much ready to go for when the PS5 launched, and that's what kind of launched them into success. But Xbox just wasn't ready for it yet. And it'd be interesting to see
Halo and other games as well. So
I would have been very curious to see what would have happened if the pandemic didn't happen, if that would have had an effect on a lot of this stuff, and I'm pretty sure it would have. And we probably would have seen a lot of games earlier than we have seen it so far. But it seems weird that it's like the year that they have the most amount of games to put out is the year that they're just like, you can plan anything. It's fine. Anything. Like I get it with Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say leading up. I'm sure you're gonna lead up to it as well. But the reason why we bring this up is because Elder Scrolls 4. I had to remember my normal rules for a minute there. I'm like, wait a minute. Yep, the I after V is 6. Okay, so Oblivion Remaster is out today on Xbox Series X and S, PC via Steam and the Xbox app for Windows PC. Cloud as well, which by the way, if you just go to remote play, xbox.com/remote play, you can connect to your Xbox very easily. I tested it out yesterday. It works very smoothly. I'm like, wow, damn, this is really nice. PlayStation 5, maybe Nintendo Switch too. Maybe. I'm just saying I'm in that part, but it's available today. Day one on Game Pass is also on Play Anywhere as well. And the cool thing about this is that if you worry like, oh no, I hope they don't change too much, it's using the same engine. They just threw a coat of paint on top of it.
They throw it. That coat of paint is a pretty substantial coat of paint.
Wonders. It's
an Unreal Engine 5 amount of coat of paint. Like that's the color that they went with, and I think that they chose a great color.
It's a wonder paint. That's for sure. You know, the paint with magic.
It's just really, it really kind of brings the room together when you get a good coat of paint of something. So it really changes the room.
You walk in the room, you're like, damn. I like this color. This is a nice color over here.
Exactly. Same old, but just hey, different color.
Same room. The room works the same. So people were too worried. No, they revealed the voices as well.
Yes.
I think they also added in some more lines on top of that. Yeah, and it's wow, just bravo. Xbox and Bethesda, I should say. Worst kept secret as well.
I know. I feel like I've been on my podcast. I feel like I've been sort of reporting on it for the past few months. It's gonna drop anytime. It's gonna drop anytime.
I was telling people, I'm like, because people are like, oh, I see you doing a lot of gaming news. I'm like, so you got anything to say? I'm like, I'm sure Oblivion's coming out next week. The people are like, what? Like, how you? I'm like, just you'll see. I'm sure it's coming out. You'll see it come out. Yeah. I haven't tried it out yet. I just downloaded 119 gigabytes. It's in there, or that's what it was.
It's 123 on console.
Yeah, for me, it's on 119 on PC. So I got it on Steam. So yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, have you tried it out though?
I have, I've at least played through the tutorial. Nice. So I played basically the first hour. By the way,
first time or anything?
First time, literally first time.
For me, I've never played it. I own a 360, but it was just one of those games. I got a 360 really late, and I kind of just missed out of that some games and everything. So
there was a lot of games that basically the Elder Scroll series is something I've never really played before. It never really interested me that much, even though a lot of people were really
hootering and hollering about it. You got to play this.
Yeah, especially with Skyrim kind of came out, but Oblivion was another one that people were really kind of digging into. And I don't know, I just didn't. I think it was because at the time I just wasn't really fully interested in larger open RPGs. Even I tried Skyrim, I played the tutorial, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm kind of done. But it was the time I was just I was just RPG'd out. So I'm very I'm curious to see how far I can be able to get in this one, whether it's going to keep my interest throughout. I mean, it already did when you got Patrick Stewart basically playing the Emperor. I know it's obviously it's a smaller role in this, but it's you got Patrick Stewart. I mean, I had no idea that he was in it. So I think obviously it looks great. It looks fantastic. I think it's looking back at the basically what the original looked like. It looked like basically you were playing the game on a soft filter on an Instagram. That's what it kind of a soft blurry filter. But with this one, it's just there's definitely it's weird because you could tell it's an older game, but as far as as the
graphics, Tomb Raider remasters, what they done.
Yeah, basically. I think it's
switch between. By the way, sorry, I don't know.
No, as far as I know, I don't think you can switch between.
I think that'll be 200 gigabyte game.
Oh my god,
we can handle this switching all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I think it's. They updated it. Look, seems as if from what I've just saw from of before and then and now after, the UI has been updated, the HUD's been updated. You can switch between first and third person mode at any given time. You can remap the controls. You could sprint, which apparently wasn't in the original game. You can now sprint. And I know. But hey, it looks great, feels great. It definitely seems like it's a Bethesda RPG, very much so in that sense. Like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing how far I can be able to get with it if I decide to stop at a certain point or I keep going until I play through the end. Because there was one guy that in the Bethesda sort of almost like developer direct kind of style video that they put up this morning as we're recording this. One developer was saying that they put in 10,000 hours into Oblivion. I'm like, how? Just how and why?
You just play how many? You play for 3 months every year for the last. It's almost almost like their anniversary as well. I think next year It's like the 20th.
If it would be, yeah, because it's 2006 was what they were saying was the original. So
insane.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like it might be the right time for me to jump into 70 plus, 80 plus. I don't know, however long it is.
Well, the main story is 28 hours. I
28 hours.
Oh, 28 hours. How long to beat? Yeah, how long to beat? Which, by the way, if you have the Xbox app on your PC, they work together.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, so I think like they just use like their database. And if you want to see how long a game will take, especially with Game Pass, if you're like, damn, I only have enough money for Game Pass for this month, you'd be like, okay, I can finish this game, and it will tell you how long to beat on there. It's really neat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. They haven't got the remastered stats in there yet.
Yeah.
But
if it's the same engine, probably around 28, 30 hours. Of course, you want all the extras, 85 hours. Completion is 184 hours.
I don't know completions, but then they even say with the Game of the Year edition, which apparently I guess it has all the DLC in it. So it's 31 hours main story. Yep. Main plus extra 83.5, and then
that's right. Because this one also comes with the DLC, and if you happen to get the deluxe edition, they added armor. Probably, I think horse armor. That's why I kept hearing people like horse armor. There's horse armor. I'm like, what are we talking about?
Like, I guess it's like for those purists, like for originals, like it's like it has. Like I guess it has like a lot of quality of life updates that a lot of people would like need and appreciate. As far as accessibility, though, I will say it doesn't have a lot.
Yeah, then they add anything new or
not really? I mean,
I can imagine original had nothing. It's just like
probably,
and that's it.
Yeah, I would imagine. Without having played, I was like, yeah, probably not. I actually have to go back and because I think you could still play the original 360 version on Game Pass right now. So I would definitely be curious to take a look and see what was there and what's different. But yeah, accessibility wise, not much is there. There is some improvements. Like again, there's a ability to be able to switch between the different first person and third person modes. I do consider that accessibility because that could help people with motion sickness for that. There's also a center dot that's just default. You don't adjust it; it's just on by default, which is great. So great again for motion sickness. It's got subtitle sizes. It's got text sizes. The largest text size is not super great, I'll admit. It's like more like the default size of a few other games, kind of even in that same era. So it just feels like that there wasn't really much of an update there. And you can remap controls again, like I said. So very, very basic.
Menu, like audio assistance or anything like that?
No, not really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, there's like these are standard fare. Like you'd be able to adjust like volume sliders and stuff, and these kind of separate a lot more of the volume or the different types of volumes you can control. But that's the guy
who was playing 2,700 hours could add in some accessibility. You would be
I don't know.
All these time 28. How many hours was it? Some ridiculous amount.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know why.
I feel like they could have put it in there because this was, like I said, this was like the worst kept secret. Everyone knew it was coming.
100%. Yeah.
And like that's one of Xbox, like that's one of their pillars now these days. Accessibility.
And it is a pillar, but
something in there.
It is a pillar, but we got to also remember that Bethesda still, it's technically its own company, even though it's in Microsoft. It is a subsidiary of Microsoft. It is like the studios still have to decide on whether they want to, and because they not only was it Bethesda Game Studios that worked on it, but also the Virtuos, who apparently I guess did the heavy lifting for this. My guess is that the culture of accessibility didn't make it down the chain of command as far as that's concerned. I'm
laughing about Virtuos because it seemed like they were like, oh man, maybe we should add them in this announcement because they're like, and Virtuos, don't forget, we did it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like, and Virtuos. They had like a little B-roll, like, oh, don't forget, we helped. Virtuos is here.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I think it's I wish it had a lot more, and I would say probably just off if anyone's wondering, it's probably not going to be accessible for a lot of people. So it's very, very super basic. Not to say that there couldn't be more and added on because it seemed, because I think this even kind of going into a broader conversation. Yes, it was the worst kept secret that we've heard about for the past few months. But my guess is that this project has only been around for about like a couple years, because the fact that it's using Unreal Engine 5, like that only just got announced and into developers' hands like within the past like 2-3 years.
2-3 years, yep.
So to see them basically being able to create an entire remastered, now that makes sense that basically that, because I always thought there's no way it's going to be remade into the Unreal Engine 5. They would have to start from scratch in order to be able to do something like that. Hearing that it is the original engine with just Unreal Engine 5 kind of like doing the heavy lifting for a lot of the graphic updates, it seems as if that's basically all they could really do. And that it could be said that could made the game like better, and that, like, could they have done more potentially? But this to me seemed like, from what we know of the project so far, I think it probably might have been fast tracked to be like, okay, let's just get this done. Like, let's just get this out.
Especially that the skeletons were like skeletons as the engine wasn't touched. It was just,
it's a 20-year-old engine. So 20
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I rather, like, if people, that way you kind of make both fans happy, like where people, like, they know how the game plays, and like because rather than people like, oh, they removed this, and then as soon as you remove something, people are like, it's broken, it or the DEI got us again, or something, type of thing, so it's that way, like, like, hey, this functions the same way, this old trick is still in there, like it's everything that people love about the game up to now, and it just with a huge uplift, I should say.
Oh, absolutely. That Unreal Engine is definitely doing a lot of work in that. Yeah, I think it's solid. I'm curious to be able to play more, and I mean, it's although, and I don't know if you had this as part of the conversation, but it is something that has been popping up in my feed, at least within the past hour or two, is the fact of the timing of this release of this shadow drop. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 comes out at the end of the week. Another relatively decent size RPG that's supposed to be coming day one to Xbox.
It actually comes out on Thursday.
So literally, like tomorrow, as of this episodes go up, 2 days as of we're recording. Like, you think if it has been ready this whole time, you think you could have, like, given Expedition 33 some breathing room?
Like, this is no small 10-hour game. You're like, play this while you wait for the release of Clair. You could have easily done this like Thursday. I'm sure the game was ready to go on Thursday.
I would imagine so.
Of last week, I should let everyone know.
Last week. I mean, putting it like giving at least a week distance, because I get, like, you can't really put it out
over Easter weekend.
Easter weekend would have been great, because then you could be able to play it all weekend. That would have been awesome. But because I get that the timing of it. Okay, because Xbox has been hitting on every month. There's been a huge basically release for them, because you had Avowed in February. You had South of Midnight in no, actually, sorry. What was in March?
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight was, I was thinking of March. I'm blanking on it right now, because they had something
as well. They had something on March. I'll look it up. But
So
South of Midnight was April.
Was April, beginning of April, I think. April 9th of America. So they had South of Midnight, April 9th, and you have Expedition 33 the end of April, and then you got
Immortals will count. I guess
33 Immortals,
Immortals,
and then you got
pretty much it.
And they got Doom: The Dark Ages being released in May.
Month, May 15th.
Within a few weeks, basically. It just seems like that they kind of crowded it with, like, they crowded this, like, basically over the month and a half. They've put in, I think, within a month and a half, they have 4 games that are huge, that are not small. Like, you got, South of Midnight, I guess, I don't know, it's like you can complete them about 10-15 hours, but like South of Midnight, Oblivion, Expedition 33, and then Doom. Like, that's huge, and it's all Xbox's fault.
it's all Xbox's fault. Every month they have a game coming out, and like Clair. So just to make sure everyone knows, Clair is not their game. It's Kepler and Interactive.
It's not first person. It's not first party studio.
But like they took like the marketing behind it, and they're like, "Yep, this is day one." They put money behind it as well. The game is taking over. Like, I think there's like 100K, like 100K, like wish lists on Steam
I think
or
so.
something like that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous amount. The game is gonna blow up for sure. And then so it's just I don't know. It's just interesting that they're like shooting them in the foot. They're like, yeah, we're gonna help you, but then we're gonna release our own game at the same time.
Yeah. And I did look it up. So yeah, as you said, 33 Immortals, I guess was the Xbox's specific March release, unless you count Atomfall, which kind of, but it is multi-platform, but it was day one on Game Pass, which the CEO of Rebellion had said that was a huge hit for them. Like that was but why it became a success for them and internally. So yeah, again, Xbox is hitting on all the right marks, but it's just
don't buy our system.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's and then put it out on everything, like including our competitors.
Everything out there. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that we'll see Oblivion coming out on the Switch too.
I can see that. Yeah, now that it's announced and it's out there, I would imagine that they would have it out either launch day or at least shortly thereafter. So I don't know. What do you think are Expedition 33's chances? Is this going to hurt them, or is it going to help them, or is it not going to do anything?
I don't think it will do anything. I definitely don't think it will hurt them. So many people, like myself, are extremely, extremely excited for this game.
Sure.
And I think it's just one of those benefits of like for me, okay, if I'm very, you and I were very fortunate. We're able to get these games sometimes very early, or we get them day of. We're just lucky to get the keys for games and everything. And I'm not, and for Clear, I mean, I know it's on Game Pass, but if I was to get a key, I don't know. But I feel like with Clear Obscure, if it wasn't coming on Game Pass, if I was outside the gaming industry and it was coming on Game Pass, I will be more eager to play this one first over Elder Scrolls. And the reason for that is because I feel like Elder Scrolls will always be on Game Pass, whereas Claire might be like, all right, 6 months, that's all you get type of scenario.
Could be. Yeah.
So I feel like that way, even though, yes, I know they're very, very close in a way. I feel like a lot of people are just like, yeah, you know what? You could wait this almost 20-year game. You can wait. Yes, you look nice. I could try you out now, but I don't have to continue. I know you will always be there later on. Whereas Clear, who knows how long it'll be there? It might be 6 months, a year.
Yeah.
And then next to the Xbox will be like, all right, we're taking it off our shelf and everything like that. We're gonna put another game up there now. Whereas, Elder Scrolls is going to be there. A lot of people are really excited for this game. It's reminding them of Lost Odyssey, which is a game that a lot of people really, really want to come back in some format. That'll be another great remaster. Xbox, if you're doing remaster that one right away. Yes. I don't think there's any way to even play that game unless you own it on a disc. I think there's no other way to play that game.
I don't know, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, so the RPG element behind it is for me, it's a game that I'm looking forward to as well. Whereas something not to say this announcement's not huge or anything for Elder Scrolls, I do appreciate the new coat of paint and everything. Now I'm oh, you know what? I could go revisit the game now. It's more modern. This game's been around forever. It's like if I was oh man, I gotta play this now type of thing. So I think maybe that was their mentality behind it. It does kind of suck. You kind of put it behind there because I'm damn it. If I was a developer, I'd be damn, you kind of you gotta shut us a little bit there, Xbox. What the hell?
Yeah.
I feel like with the number with what they're the news of success and they're always we got 100K wish list, we got 100K this, how many people are on followers. I feel like a lot of people are super excited for this game, especially with the 3-hour demo they gave us. That demo was fantastic.
I haven't played the demo. I've been I wanted to just sort of jump in, basically pun intended, blind. And when you try something, you're I know the end's coming, and I don't want it to end. I was so I had the same thing when I played the Final Fantasy 16 demo. I knew it was about to end at some point, and I was really enjoying it. And then the way they ended it, I was just ooh, that demo should be studied as far as how to do a demo properly, because that ending to that demo was the perfect time way to end it, to get people interested and be I need to buy this, I need to play this now. And so that's how I kind of felt that way. And I would agree with you. I think the having Oblivion coming out now, I don't think it hurts Expedition 33's chances, because it is a 20-year-old game. Yes, it is remastered, but the only people that are going to care about Oblivion are the people who have already played Oblivion. They're like, maybe you might get some new folks like ourselves, like that are going to jump in for the first time, but we can like, it's not a must play for us right now. And I would think even just when you kind of jump into a broader sort of general casual audience, it's like if they see the both of them, like Expedition 33 and Oblivion Remastered on the same sort of carousel on the Game Pass store, they would see, oh, it's a 20-year-old game versus a game that just came out. I'd probably be more willing to be able to try out the game that just came out instead of the one that just got remastered. So I think Oblivion is going to attract Oblivion or Elder Scrolls or Bethesda fans, and maybe pick up a few new fans along the way. But I don't think that's like people are going to are dying to play it all the way through and then jump into Expedition 33. So
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more like, I would say, again, for me, if I had to choose between the two, I'm willing to jump into Expedition 33. Like you said, Oblivion's always going to be there. I mean, I downloaded it. It's on my Xbox right now. I'll probably play it more mobile on my ROG Ally. It is Steam Deck verified, so they did announce for that. So that's great.
That's insane.
That's
how it looks and everything. I'm like, wow, you're Steam verified? That's crazy. I mean, Spider-Man got taken off Steam.
I mean, like when you look at the specs actually for it, they said you only need the recommended specs. You only need a 2080. In order to that's recommended. Like they even said an Intel, you can even go as like recommend as an Intel i5. Like
we can't even get like a 5080 or anything. You can't even get a 5680.
I don't know. It's like I have a 2070 in my streaming computer, but I have a Radeon 6900 XT in my gaming PC, so I know it could run it no problem. But yeah, I think it's
crazy. Yeah,
I know, right? But I think it's I think it's Expedition 33 is going to be okay. And I think once it comes out and people are able to get in their hands and people are playing it, I think the conversation about Oblivion is probably going to die off, or at least the hype for it is going to die off, unless for whatever reason it's just, sometimes things happen. People kind of gravitate towards that one thing over another, and we don't know why. It'd be interesting to see kind of who's going to be playing it on stream, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube. Like who's going to win on top. Obviously, Oblivion's going to probably be dominant for the next couple of days, but I think once Expedition 33, I think people are going to jump into that because it's a new game, and I think that's going to help them out. And the premise of it looks cool. Like it just it looks great. Like we've seen Oblivion before, but this is like a brand new sort of world, brand new style of gameplay. It kind of hits that Japanese RPG sort of vibes. So that's the one I'm going to play. I'm just waiting for that where I can be able to download it on Thursday.
Another thing with Oblivion as well is that not Oblivion but Clear. I feel like a lot of people are like, if they're really happy with their pre-orders or wish lists, it sounds like they're like the pre-order numbers will be doing as good as well. Not only that, they already got their Game Pass bag already. Like the Game Pass bag.
That's true. Yes.
They already made their Game Pass money. Is this going to be like, okay, well, how many players are playing it right now? Which as soon as you log in that game, you count as a player, so type of deal. Yeah. So it's going to be, go ahead.
No, I was to say, like, even jumping back to what I was talking about earlier, but like with Rebellion, like they kind of gave a little bit of a peek inside of like what that Game Pass deal is, and it pretty much confirms what we all kind of assumed, is that they get a guaranteed sales amount, like if they put it on Game Pass. So there's I think that is huge for a lot of developers, because then there's not a huge risk for them to be able to put something exclusively on a platform like Xbox. Like it just, it kind of, and I think, and a lot of people sort of say, oh, it's the subscription thing. We don't know if it's going to work. What's the business model of it? But like for developers, it's a huge deal, because instead of it being exclusive to only Xbox, it's like they can still sell it elsewhere. They can put it on PlayStation if they wanted. They can put it on Steam. They can sell it everywhere. The only thing is they also have it on Game Pass. And so I think that's going to be huge for them. It's gives a guaranteed amount of money, so they can be able to at least know, okay, it's going to be successful for them to be able to hopefully maybe make more or make DLC or expansions or maybe even a sequel if it does even better. But I think it's going to be great for the studio all around. And Xbox is putting a lot of marketing behind it too. So yeah, and the cast
let's put it this way: they put more marketing in that game than they did Elder Scrolls. They just dropped it. They just dropped it. Like, here you go, have fun. Here's the game, and now, like, and that's the best way to save money because they know it's a big enough game. And like, there's been rumors about it. Maybe they even leaked out their own rumors. But like, hey, did you hear about this? Be like, Phil, why are you telling me this? Like, what's going on? What's going on here? But like, you save money that way as well, and then that money could go towards to Clear and like Doom, which by the way, Doom looks insane with the goddamn system and the controllers. And then they had they paid WrestleMania money.
Yeah,
a trailer.
Not only that, they had Drew McIntyre wearing the cloak that Doom guy wears, and also they had the shield. It ain't cheap. No, they had like a whole I guess statue or effigy or something, or during his entrance with the Doom shield and the helmet, and I'm like, wow, they paid WrestleMania money for sure.
Drew is not cheap at all.
No, definitely not.
No, like, so it's a good, honestly, it's a good time for gaming. That's all I gotta say. Xbox leading the way, especially with Game Pass, and especially with who knows what's gonna happen in 6 months with the world with this tariff and that tariff and everything. Yes, I said the T word and everything, but Game Pass is like, hey, subscribe to this and you get all these games.
Yep, no tariffs on that.
It's honestly the best. Like, if you miss the days of renting video games at like Blockbuster or for I remember it was Video 99 here, Dino Video here. Like, if you miss the days of renting video games, like, Game Pass is that modern day thing. Honestly, so because I think this game is going for I think it's $50 US. It was $66 here, Canadian, Elder Scrolls as well. I mean, you can put that money towards Game Pass. You get access to this game. You get Clear. Like, they always adding games, added NHL on there now. Like, there's tons of stuff. Plus Valorant perks. Like, it's honestly, they're really good. I know it sounds like we're being paid by Game Pass, but we're not. It's just like it's game recognized game. I'll be proud to tell you if we were sponsored by Xbox right now. I'm just letting you know, like, it's the best value. You have to recognize, but something's good. You have to recognize it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I know we joke around, or it's been joked around that Xbox is the best value in gaming, and it just, when you have games like this, when you have like releases like this, and then the year that Xbox is having, it really kind of does show the value of it. And the fact it's like, yes, it is an expense, like, it is a subscription, so it is a recurring monthly cost. But I mean, when Coachella basically has where you can be able to pay monthly to be able to pay for the tickets for Coachella, that like at least people are kind of like interested, at least in just like right now. And considering that Nintendo is going to be selling $109 games in Canada, that $22.99 a month doesn't and I'm not trying to be able to compare it to like it's cheaper for everybody. I know I get like your financial sort of situation is your own, and I empathize if you're not able to afford another subscription right now, and you have to pick and choose what games you can be able to play. But it really does show how good of a value it is. Yeah, it's like in Canada, it's like $275 a year for the entire for
sometimes they even run a $1 deal as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
and not only that, they make it accessible everywhere. Yes. Where do you have that? Like, PlayStation has their own network. And like, you can't play that on PC. I can't play it on my phone. I can't pull up a web browser and be like, oh, let me just connect to my Xbox, And Nintendo, I love Nintendo. I always said Nintendo, like, they get my paycheck, like every paycheck, they get my part of my paycheck or something. But like, even them, they don't do this. They don't do any of this. Like, it's wild. It's crazy.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if you play at least a couple of games a year, that kind of really does kind of pay for itself, and it's just you're just basically paying up front, but then you get all the entire library that Xbox has. Like, you're getting all the Bethesda games, you're getting all the Blizzard games, the Activision, all of Xbox's own studios. Yeah, sure, there's definitely games that come and go, and that's the same with any subscription. But
when they come back, like GTA came back.
Yeah, GTA came back. So. You'll be able to jump into GTA 5 now, and then you sort of have to pay for it again. And I think that's, Yeah, again, it's just it is a good value. I get it. It's expensive for it can be expensive, especially even right now. Like that, $23 a month goes a long way in a lot of cases. So, but I think it's just it's right now to me, it's still the better alternative than having to spend $60, $70, $80, $109,
$110
for just one game. Where
I guess we should talk about that because when we didn't have our episode last week, some news did come out that finally for our lovely Canadians out there, you can pre-order your Switch 2 coming up on Thursday, right?
Literally tomorrow after this episode airs. Yes.
So Thursday midnight we could, right?
Think so. That's midnight. Midnight Thursday. Apparently, according to Walmart, that just posted that up. So yeah,
good old shout out to Walmart and Riley and them. But
pre-order Walmart.
we also found out that hey, in the States, if you thought $80 was bad for Mario Kart, why don't you try 110? What the hell is?
It's not even like proper exchange rate.
Regular game. Yeah, it's not. Have I ever bought that should just be $100.
You know what used to be $100? Collector's editions.
Oh my god, I can't even. They have no right to sell collector's editions to any game anymore because it's gonna be $300.
Even with the norm. Okay, so for those who may in the States, if you don't know kind of what Canadian prices are for a lot of games, we can usually predict as far as what a Canadian price will be based on what the American price. It's usually 20. So if it's $70 in the US, it's more than likely going to be $90 in Canada. And even with the $80 price tag in the States for Mario Kart World, you would think it'd be $100, but it's now an additional 10 for whatever reason. No clue what. I don't think the exchange rate is that bad.
No, I think the exchange rate has been the same ever, as far as I know.
It just astounds me that it's like they were like, oh no, we'll just instead of the normal 20, it's like, oh no, we're gonna jump it up to additional 10. So now it's $30 more to play Mario Kart than it is to play anything else. I get it, sort of. Nintendo.
I just feel like we're being punished. Why are we?
I know. But if you think about it this way,
do anything.
If you think about it this way, we never did get another Mario Kart in the life cycle of the Switch, right? We had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That was the only Mario Kart we got. Yeah. And what they do, they added a bunch of expansion, the booster packs to be able to get new courses and stuff like that. So basically, I think Nintendo saw it as being like, they're only paying for the game once, and that's it. So we'll just charge a little bit more. We know it's a premium title. We'll charge a little bit more because over the course of the console cycle for the Switch 2, there's going to be you're only going to pay for it once, and more than likely, they might do some booster packs or expansion DLCs, and obviously then you have to have Nintendo Switch Online or
is that going to be free though?
That's the thing, is that but even with that kind of logic, it still doesn't even really make sense. That's why I say it's sort of. It makes sense sort of because it makes sense on the grand scheme of things. You're only going to pay for once, but Nintendo is nickel and diming everything else, so you guarantee that any new expansions or whatever are going to be, you have to pay for it, whether it's through NSO or you pay for it outright, just on its own. And I don't know, we talked about this before in our own little group chat, but I have a feeling we are back at Nintendo's ego coming back again.
Ego era,
the ego era, with when they had it with the Wii U. They had it with I think I guess the GameCube technically.
GameCube was another era. It was a powerful system. They're like, oh, we'll do our own DR, like the smaller disc and everything like that. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
but it's a similar ego to how when PlayStation had the PS3, similar ego to how Xbox had with the Xbox One. And I don't want to say that the Switch 2 is going to be not a success like the PS3 or the Xbox One. It's still going to sell. But I think we pretty much are guaranteed that Switch 2 is not going to sell as well as the Switch 1.
Yeah, like it will have a strong start, and then that will depend on, and then after that, if they make some changes as well. I could see this. I see this more as the 3DS, where the 3DS was crazy expensive. Awada-san had to like do a pay cut of his own, like his own salary, and apologize, and then they gave like ambassador games to like things that never came out later on. They were like, oh, they'll add multiplayers to these special games that came out just for those who bought it earlier. It was more of an apology, and then they had to cut the price down of the 3DS. I could kind of see the Switch be like that.
I can see that too. I can even see them at one point creating a Switch 2 Lite that's going to have basically like no magnetic Joy-Cons. It's just going to be built in, and maybe I would say that because this is the way I sort of see Nintendo going about this with the Switch 2. At some point, we're probably going to get an OLED edition of the Switch 2. It's going to kind of be given. It's like once it gets down to a price where they can be able to feel comfortable be able to putting that out there, as that'll be the default Switch 2 going forward. Then I can see them basically using the same type of screen for the Switch 2 Lite, just basically take away the magnets and still keep the same power. And I think that is probably going to be the more console seller, which I think it could work, it could not work, because Xbox tried to do that with the Xbox Series S. And I think it sells well, and I don't know if whether it sells more than the Xbox Series X, but I see a ton of people playing on the S more than the X specifically. But we also hear about the stories from developers being like it's hard to develop for the Series S, and so I don't know if it's going to be an apples to oranges kind of situation, but I don't know. I think it's. I think it's going to sell okay, but I don't think people are going to. At least I hope not. I hope people that it's not going to be like a Wii U situation where it's going to be short lived for a while, and then like within like 3-4 years or 5 years, whatever, we're going to see a new version, a new console, because that's what Nintendo does. Like they like to kind of like be like, if they know a thing's going to fail, they just kind of put something out quicker than they did before, and. I don't know.
They are very, very weird. Nintendo does what Nintendo don't, type of thing, But I see it more with the 3DS, where the 3DS did become more successful. It just had that terrible slow start due to the price, and then they realized, okay, this is way too much. Apology. Here's all this stuff right here. Cut the prices down. As soon as they cut the prices down, then it just skyrocketed away. Something that's really interesting about this console, which we still don't know a lot about, which is also like the online infrastructure. How's that going to be looking as well? For me, on the tech side of things, I know Digital Foundry and many other people report. I know it's this type of NVIDIA chip, and I believe the chip, they confirm it's using DLSS, but it's using another form of DLSS. So now for me, I'm also wondering, does it have frame generation? Because if it has frame generation and it's able to not only coincide with like every year, like a new graphics card's coming out, like the 50 series just came out, and DLSS 4.0 and frame generation 2. Whatever they want to call it. If it can evolve with these new technology, the Switch 2 will be going for a very long time. Like the fact you could I tested out the Claw 8, and I was able to use frame generation. I was able to get 90 frames in Cyberpunk. So imagine you could do that with a Switch 2. Like, oh yeah, we just updated Cyberpunk. Now you get 120 frames. I'm like, wait, what?
Because I think even
it's crazy.
Because I think that there was obviously the story that CD Projekt Red, like it took them 7 weeks to be able to make, or the build that they had was made in 7 weeks,
which is very impressive.
And apparently it was running, I think it was 1080p at 30. So, and that to get a game like that to run that well and then be able to also still look good. That's saying something for the Switch 2. Like I didn't expect the Switch 2 to be a powerhouse graphics or processing wise, but I was hoping for at least a decent upgrade. That this is, again, I think I've talked about. I can't remember if I talked about this before on my show or your show or this show, but I have a feeling that this is the Switch that a lot of developers wanted the original Switch to be, because I think they realized when they tried to develop for it. that because there was a lot of excitement early on from a lot of developers. Basically, you want to port your game on the Switch. There's gonna be a lot of ports over onto the Switch, and there was a good influx of games at the beginning, and then it kind of stopped for a while. And then I think it was because they realized just how limited power is in that console. And there was some that kind of made solutions that they were basically like it was online streaming, or you get a version like Mortal Kombat 1, which was terrible graphics wise. So I think this is the Switch that developers are going to want to be able to develop for now, and that especially if it has these DLSS frame generation sort of deal. But the thing is, we haven't seen a mobile a hardware chip like this from NVIDIA, because both Xbox and PlayStation uses AMD for their chips on their consoles. So it'd be very curious to see like on a
some
mobile
good
version.
AMD like mobile chips out there, especially even Apple. They have like ray tracing and stuff like that on there as well. So these chips they're getting smaller and they're doing a lot of wonders on there. So I just hope Nintendo also like prepare themselves for that as well. You know, maybe this chip could get some great AI technology, upscaling tech and everything that will like that way, like six years from now, we're like, oh, gotta get another Switch 3 now or type of thing. The Switch just keep on going, you know.
I mean, if you think about it, it's like again, the fact that Cyberpunk is going to run on the Switch 2 and it's going to launch
the DLC,
on the Switch 2.
Phantom Liberty as well.
Exactly. Like that is huge in of itself, considering that when it first came out, it could barely run on a PS4 and an Xbox One. And yet now like they've updated it, they've worked on it, of course. Like it's one of the great sort of like comeback stories of within video game history. But we'll see them actually be if it's fully playable, like and at decent quality on the Switch 2. That's huge.
All on one card.
Exactly. Yeah.
64 card. That card ain't cheap.
No, definitely not. And then we're gonna get like obviously Star Wars Outlaws are gonna come out in September. We're probably gonna see Oblivion Remastered on this as well. So
there's already like readings of Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah. So it seems as if it's like it's the console that we wanted. I just hope that we're not like they're not going to price everyone out, because that was something that Nintendo has always been known for. They whenever they create their hardware and even their software, is that it's designed for everybody to be able to play. So it's for kids, it's for adults, it's for families, and they've always been the family, not necessarily in terms of content, but they were always the family-friendly console. Not everyone can be able to afford an Xbox. Not everyone can be able to afford a PlayStation, but a lot of people could have afforded a Nintendo. And the fact that we're seeing these prices now, sure, yes, tariffs can have an effect on it, but it's not to say that the price isn't bad. It's okay. It's not great. Yes, we would like to have been cheaper, but it's the nickel and diming of everything else.
Yeah.
That's where I'm kind of like, okay, Nintendo, that's a little.
They're not really focusing on the consumer. They're just like, nope, this is the price. That's too bad. We can't afford it. Get a Switch.
Yeah, exactly. And then they were like, and then even just the accessories for it, like too, like the fact that the Joy-Cons are close to $100 as well, if not over $100 for that, like. Just to buy that a set of that, like it just
even Amiibos are going. Amiibos are $15. They're now $30 for $40.
Like
Amiibos, that's crazy.
Again, I think it's the nickel and diming that's going to hurt Nintendo than necessarily the price of the Switch or the or like and the confusing aspect of the prices for the games themselves. We always knew Nintendo games had a certain price. It was pretty much $70 across the board. They don't really have a lot of like the what we've seen, like even like the fact that Oblivion was released for $50 in the US. We don't see Nintendo putting out a game like that. I mean, sometimes when they do like Mario 3D,
or Zelda,
that collection or whatever, like we've seen like sort of, but majority of the time they have a set price for all of their games, and it's going to be like we have to think about yes, for us we see the price and it's like, okay, fine, we'll pay whatever, but to a family. To casual gamers that they see, and they're going to see the new Switch 2 on the shelves come June. They're going to take a look at the prices of games. They're going to see Mario Kart World in Canada. They're going to see Mario Kart World at $109, and then they're going to see Donkey Kong Bonanza at $70. Guaranteed, they're going to pick up the Donkey Kong game because it's $40 cheaper. And they may buy the Mario Kart at some point because their kids are playing it. Their friends,
or maybe they got it with maybe they got it with the console as well. That's
the cheapest way to get it.
That's the cheapest way to get it.
Yeah, that might be like they would look at that, and that could be the reason why they're maybe selling that bundled in, because they knew the price was going to be a lot. But it's like what they're doing with these different prices is that they're confusing the consumer in what game to buy, and it's going to be difficult for a family to be able to justify paying for it. Like I could see them justifying NSO because they get older games. It's kind of a sort of a subscription system, and it gets them expansion packs for a bunch of different other games. And yes, it's going to be backwards compatible, so all their previous games they bought for the Switch is going to be there as well. And I think that's going to be a good selling point for families. But right now, when it comes to like what the Switch 2 is saying they're going to do, like it feels like that even backwards compatibility is not even really a big marketing sell for them. It's just it's all this new stuff. So I don't know. I've been ranting and raving a lot.
It's very fair and justifiable, because like their message hasn't been clear whatsoever. Like I've always known like your Mario, your Zelda has always been like they're premium games, but like Nintendo's always been the cheaper part of the whole, like between the big three for the longest time. Yes, I remember the 90s and with the Super NES was like they were even $100 back then. It's crazy. But one thing that's kind of interesting, I don't know if you saw that they have like this game key on there. You could resell it if you wanted to. It just gives you the right to. It's like there's nothing on there except for a key, but allows you to downloads the game onto your system. It's literally
just that's all it is. There's nothing on the card itself, which is I'm like.
But there's also another one where I believe it's Rune Factory. Your classic. There's like a million Rune Factory games.
Yeah,
always come out on the Switch. This one has a extra chip, like an extra piece on the card, and it's meant for the Switch too. But you can also take that card and use it on this original Switch.
Oh,
so I'm wondering, like, are they using different methods of like, hey, if you play this game, you can still play this game on the Switch 1, but it's a Switch 2 cartridge, but it has like it can read on both type of scenario. Like Nintendo, like it's interesting how they're doing like the whole like sharing games as well. Here, you can try this game out for 2 weeks and everything. I think they knew like a lot of these games are gonna like. That's one thing they also mentioned leading up before even the Switch was even announced, that like, hey, games are costing a lot more. So I think they just know that like they have to raise the price. A lot of people are gonna be pissed off. So maybe that's why they're like, hey, try this game out for, was it 2 weeks? I think, or 2 weeks out for something, or here's a game key to make it cheaper, maybe.
It was if you're on if a bunch of people are on the same family Nintendo plan, Nintendo and online plan, you could be able to share a game or virtually with another person on that. Like you basically select who within your sort of family of 4 or 5, whatever it is, and they could be able to play. Like basically, it's like taking a virtual cartridge out of your Switch and puts it into theirs, so they're the ones who are playing it, and they it's like a rental period for like 2 weeks. So
I'll be running my own shop.
To the original. Basically, and then I think even with the there are some games that basically I think they said Mario Kart it could be also playable without having to buy multiple copies of it.
I can share it up to 4 people, I think.
I think so. I think it was, or I think it was, and then if you have different Switches, I think it was like up to, I think it's up to 2 other Switch. If I remember correctly.
It's basically like streaming it to them and everything.
So that I think that's they probably had thought about that when they were kind of trying to come up with the price of it. So I think it could help if it's going to work right out of the box without having having any online issues, as you said. Great. If not, I don't know. It just feels like a gimmick to me.
And it's funny, they were doing this stuff with the DS, 3DS days. Like this is how you used to be able to game share. Right? Remember, there was the Mario Kart on the DS, I think it was, where like you were able to like share the game, and like that person just drove as a shy guy instead of like picking a character. But they were at least able to join you in the game. Like they're like, yeah, come play with me here. I'll game share to you. So I don't. It's interesting stuff that they brought back because I think they knew, hey, things are gonna cost more, and like people won't be able to afford it, and like let's just give them some tools to like either share games or remote play as well. Like I believe that remote play also works with like the classic Switch as well. So if you can afford one Switch at a time, whereas before you'd be like, yo, you want a Switch? Okay, I'll help you get one. You need baby needs another Switch. All right, baby gets a Switch, everything.
Yeah.
It's very interesting what they're doing this time around. But like I said, there's a lot of things that's still that's unanswered, and it's cool that yes, things are 4K and 60 frames or 1080p 120. Of course not every game will be like that as well, but like it's good to know that they have that option out there.
It's capable of doing that. So if you work with Nintendo on potentially even having that, we might see a lot more games coming out with at 120, because that's the thing. It's like a lot of games say that they can be able to reach that much or that high, but not a lot. If you can actually be able to consistently
like
put it out at that much.
900p and this stuff, even on Xbox and PlayStation, it's not only a Nintendo thing. All of these consoles, they're like, I remember PlayStation had like a 8K logo. I'm like, where's the 8? Now they stopped doing it. Now they're like, where's the 8K stuff? You're lying, clearly. So
all you say is I have a PS5 Pro, and like playing it because they said that essentially that performance mode is kind of like the equivalent of the original quality mode, but just now you're playing games at like 60 frames. And you can definitely see the difference. Like it's the games look gorgeous, but it runs at a much smoother frame rate, and I like enough that I can notice. And so they did live up to the hype in that sense. But again, it's like not a lot of games can be able to push 120 frames, and that's why I was surprised when Nintendo announced that was going to be a thing for the games. I was just like, really? Yeah. You can put on 120 frames? We'll have to see about that.
Yeah, I mean, Metroid looks good. Like a lot of people are talking about that, and
but I want to see the Digital Foundry like a comparison video. I need to know that for certain.
I mean, and then Fortnite's gonna be 120 as well, and then you're gonna have the benefit of that mouse as well. On the fly, the mouse gimmick looks kind of neat and everything. And like,
apparently, you can be able to play it on your pants. Like you don't have to need like a table in order to be able to have the mouse on it. So,
but not only that, as a streamer, most of the time my Switch has been, I would say, 90% docked.
Most of the time. As a streamer.
And like most of the time. So like, I'll just be here like, I could just bust out like a mouse and play Fortnite on just. I mean, I'm not gonna play Fortnite as much. I haven't touched Fortnite in 2 years. I think the Switch version might bring me back just to play with it a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I also said the same thing until WWE put out an Undertaker and Cody Rhodes skin for Fortnite.
Oh, they got you.
They got me. And then of course, they were selling John Cena at a discount, so I got that too.
Of course they are. Of course they were. Yeah. Why not?
And it's great.
This is Pharrell season.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, great. They got me. Yeah. And then Star Wars seasons apparently come. So I'm like, I think I might just jump back into Fortnite.
I got you. Hey, play the Switch version.
I can play the Switch version.
You'll be good. It's cross-play, you're set, and all your things goes over. And the only thing, which reminds me of, I do have Nintendo coins. I could probably use that for Fortnite.
There you go. For V-Bucks, right. But also,
V-Bucks.
If you use
I gotta use it fast.
If you use creator code Steve Sailor, you can be able to help out support a streamer. The code still works. I haven't used it in a while, but the code still works.
Yeah. I know you have to use it like every so often, or someone has to use it, or if not, they'll take it away from you.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, good. I'm glad I used it because it worked.
Yeah, because they were like, hey, you got to use your code suit. I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, we'll take it away. I'm like, we'll do whatever you want. I don't care. It's too many affiliate links out there now. Too many.
Yeah.
One whole link or something like that. But
I mean, I wish it could give you discounts on stuff, but it just it helps the streamer out. So
no, I wish Steam does that, because everything's on Steam. Steam Deck this and Steam Deck that. Where's the affiliate link, Steam? We're helping sell your games. Ooh. What are we doing?
I don't know. I like it. That'd be great. Oh, if Steam actually opened that up for developers, but also for creators too. Oh,
but the thing is, they make too much money. They don't want to give money back. Come on now.
True. Yeah, they are still. I think
Valve wants to give money. No.
Do they still take? I think it's like what 30%.
Yep.
Yeah. So okay. Well.
But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time for gaming with Xbox not selling their consoles, but they're releasing banger and banger of games and supporting banger games as well. And then Nintendo's out here being like, listen, pay up. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay up. It's the rent is due. We gave you years of cheap pricing and systems. Now we want money.
Yeah,
we want
it's
money
like the first taste is almost free, but now you gotta pay a little more.
Exactly. Your appetizers are done. The free preview is done.
Yeah.
Pay up now. We need another B next to our current B that we have right now. We need another billion, So it's gonna be crazy times. But Steve, what do you got for yourself going on for this week?
For this week, just basically doing my regular podcast, daily podcast called Gaming Insight Daily on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@SteveSailor. I've just on my other YouTube channel, Steve Sailor Plays. I just put up right now as we're recording this. It went live the first hour and a half of me playing Oblivion Remaster. So if you want to check that out. How do
you find a two channel format? How do you like that?
It's okay. I mean, it definitely you still are like you're building another channel from scratch. So it's kind of like you have to consistently basically put up content for both. And I'm still trying to be able to find that kind of balance for both channels. Right now, my main channel is actually doing pretty well. With the podcast, that actually kind of been helping out a lot with that. But on the other channel, it's like it's hit or miss. But just trying things out. It's kind of where I've been basically putting up my Let's Play videos from Twitch, or basically kind of like my VODs. So it's been helping out at least to be able to put that in there, so I don't have to get rid of them all. Because with Twitch's 100 an hour the VOD system now, it's you got to put them up somewhere. So yeah, that's basically.
I just did that and be like, I'll sort it out later.
Yeah.
That's crazy. For me, I got this week is insane for gaming because we got Marathon tomorrow.
Oh right, yeah. Did you get in?
I'm all set, ready to go.
Okay.
I also got Clear Obscure going on Thursday.
Okay.
Flash maybe tomorrow because I think I heard keys might be going out tomorrow. It might be, I don't know. We'll see. Then something else is happening. I'm sure you know what it is. Something else is happening.
Yeah. Can't say what just yet, but you all will see very shortly. Yep.
And then what else did I got here? Marathon Expedition, and then I also have some streamer games with some friends as well. And then St. Jude kicks off as well. So it's gonna be So I figure I'll do like a little kickoff. St. Jude, let them know there's a lot of cool stuff and everything. So
I did forget to mention. I was thinking, I'm like, there's something else I was releasing this week. So as of tomorrow, when this episode goes live, I will be putting up a special one-shot D&D adventure. That this one you definitely want to check out, because as far as I know, this is the first time a D&D actual play show was actually recorded at an actual, honest to God, haunted house.
Oh, this is the one.
Yeah. So we're calling it
finally out.
It's gonna be finally out. Yeah, we recorded it back in November. It took me a while to be able to edit it all together because it's just me doing this whole thing. So it's edited. It's ready to go. We're gonna do a 2-part premiere on my Twitch channel. Awesome. Where we get to the first part is literally the investigation that we did before we played the game. That is being run by our friends over at Old Spirits Investigations. They do a lot of paranormal investigations at a bunch of different places, and they were the ones who allowed us to come along and try it out. We kind of called it the Satanic Panic Experiment. So because the 80s was Satanic Panic with D&D. So we figured, let's see if that had an effect on the paranormal. So we do the investigation, and then the second part is the actual ghost or actual game itself. So it's a 2-part watch party. We're doing it starting at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, April 24th. So come on, check it out, and to see how D&D is played in a haunted house.
Would you ever do? And this popped up to me, so this might sound a little messy. Would you ever do a live haunted D&D adventure where you guys obviously play as yourself, but then the chat is doing like the rolling and like, hey, should we check this room out? And like, let's roll for it. The chat rolls like a poll or whatever, whoever the majority it is, and like you're like, so let's say chat roll like majority says yes, let's roll for it. Yeah. And then you roll for it and like, let's check out this room. Maybe this person does this activation type of thing. Ooh. But it's a real haunted place and it's live.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how long. I don't know how long that might take, but
dang, we should have done that back in November because we did technically stream it. It was on. It was streamed to my best friend's his channel, the T Monster. So we did stream the whole investigation. But man, that actually would have been a cool idea, having chat basically to kind of decide of where we go. So
because you don't want to do it, but like chat said, you gotta go in that scary room right now.
Yeah,
I'd be down for it. Stay in that room.
I'd be down for it.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Just saying. So, but that's awesome. Cool. But busy week of gaming and adventure, and maybe some bowling. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But we all will see you here next week with some cool stuff coming out soon. So see you all here next week, everyone. Take care.
Take care.